Hello everyone, Dragoon here bringing you a Union Arena deck profile video. Today we're going to be looking at Purple Bleach, specifically the Byakuya variant of the deck. I decided to build this deck because I noticed that Byakuya didn't really see a lot of play even in the beginning of the game where like Purple Bleach was like the deck. Like he was there, but he wasn't like, if it wasn't Renji Rush or it wasn't like, Ichigo Helmet deck, it wasn't really played too often. And I kind of feel like with the way the meta is now, where people are playing like more aggressive, especially stuff like Red Kenshin, having a bunch of smaller targets on the board, this deck can actually deal with a lot of the looming threats that are there. And with the exception of Yellow Eva, because Yellow Eva is like a bunch of big bodies, this deck could put in a ton of work. And not to say that you can't beat Yellow Eva, you absolutely can, but the matchup is very different considering that a lot of those girls are 4K plus sometimes, and those are some big numbers to deal with. But don't write this deck off. It's actually really, really strong, really consistent, and I'll just get into the list. So it's 4 Byakuya, 4 Rukia. These are your primary raid targets. You want to see these as much as possible because these are the things that are going to get you to your win con. Your Rukia raid helps filter out cards to your deck as well as load the trash up with cards for your Byakuya raid, so they play off well with each other. This promo is newly released despite it. I think it was supposed to be in set 1 and we never got it because it would have overpowered Purple Ichigo, which is laughable because the deck was still brain dead anyway. But yeah, to finish off our zeros, 3 Renji, 3 Ryu. So I decided to play these as a 3-3 split because you want to see as many triggers in this deck as possible because you don't have like big defensive stalwarts. Renji being a 2K and an active trigger is nice because you can push him up early, he can do some work, and he can, chump block the smaller units that are 15K and less. And of course, active triggers are amazing because it'll stop you from getting punched in the face. Ryu helps set up your sideline for more Byakuya stuff, which is great. Going into our 1 cost, right now I'm just playing 4. So initially this was just supposed to be 4 Byakuyas. I have to pick up the 4th one for my teammate. That being said, this Kisuke has kind of won me over recently. Because your raid targets are Byakuya and Rukia, at any point in time you could rest one of them in the front line, and he counts as 2 energy, which is great because it lets you hit like the weird 5 number that you have to hit every now and then, and sometimes you don't see your double energy. And he kind of fixes that. So I actually might try to find room for 2 of these in my final build. But this is supposed to be a 4th of the Byakuya. In the meantime, this Byakuya is magnificent. So when you play him, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You place 1 in the sideline and put the remaining on the top of your deck. So you get to sort your next draw, basically, and help fill your trash up with cards for your Byakuya raid, which is awesome, right? 2 drops, the best 2 drop available for the deck is 4 of this Byakuya. Now, what I love about this Byakuya is that he is a perfect target for your color trigger, which is something that you don't really get all the time with purple. Like sometimes you get units that it's like, if you're playing like, let's say, Purple Eva, you might just pick a Shinji because you can play draw 1, trash 1, and help kind of filter your deck and set up for your raids and stuff like that. In his Byakuya's case, he is really good defensively. So if you hit a color trigger, you play this out of life, excuse the ambulance's bypassing, you can minus one of your opponent's creatures and they might lose another attack as well as him being able to block for you the same turn. So him being a raid target and being like a really good color trigger target is like an all-in-one kind of card. He's phenomenal. And minus 1K on play is amazing, really. Going into our 3 costs, we are playing 2 Kisukes and 4 Byakuyas, excuse me. So the Byakuya, honestly, he's a little underwhelming. And when you put him in play, you choose a card in your opponent's front line, it loses 500 BP. It is not great. Realistically, with the existence of this and it being a 2 cost, it does have the fact that it gens 2 energy and it's a trigger, but 500 BP isn't really a lot. In some cases, it's great because you can do it to your opponent's 0 cost and minus 500 and then raid over it and then, do Byakuya things and just murder it. But for the most part, it's pretty underwhelming. This Kisuke specifically, he's in here because double energy and he's a active trigger, which is nice. And then the last 3 costs, I do play 4 this Rukia. At the time, I'm okay with her at 4. I may bump her down to 3 at some point. I'm not too sure. In the meantime, though, when she attacks, you draw a card, discard a card, and with Normally, her being 3,500, it's a little underwhelming, but because of how the Byakuya raid operates, she can get over raids. So she's not horrible. She helps filter and she powers up Byakuya. And then the last non-raid unit I play is 2 of this Renji. I may bump this up to 3. This Renji pairs so good with the Kisuke. So what this Renji does is he has Nullify Impact, as you can see. And during your turn, once per turn, if your opponent has a card on their front line that has a BP less than their power, so if it's a 4K and it's a 35 or a 3K, you can switch this to active. So if he's on the field for an extra turn and you have the Kisuke there, you could switch him to resting and make Kisuke a double energy, and then just switch him to active by playing an effect. And he's awesome. He's a 4K body. He's an active trigger. He does a lot. I actually might bump this up to 3, but we're still testing that. Going into the raids, it is just 4 Rukia and 4 Byakuya. Now, yes, these are mismatched. I do plan on upgrading the Rukias and the 3-cost Rukias as well. I just really wanted to test this deck out because I had like a theory about how well it would play. And yeah, overall is great, but I'll get to the raids. So the 4 Rukias, these are just meant to help Byakuya succeed. She does have the effect of discarding a card to give another unit 500 BP, which is okay, I guess. You can bump the 2,500 Byakuya as a 3K or the 3,500 Rukia to 4K, but I don't use that effect truthfully. Like, it's also a good way of getting extra cards into the sideline. So I don't write that effect off entirely, but I don't think that effect is like, oh my god, you know? And then Man at Hour, 4 Byakuyas. This card is so good. He has 3 effects. So when he's played, you can remove 2 cards from your sideline, so minus 1,000 from your opponent's front row, which is wow. When he attacks, you can remove another card, so minus 1K from another card in your opponent's front row. So that's minus 2,000 off of 1 card already. And then his second effect, which I don't get to use too often because the games typically are over before it becomes prevalent, you remove 3 cards from your trash, and he gets impact 1. And that's a solid once per turn for like per copy, so you can't stack the impact ones. But overall, this card like just promotes crazy combos because of what you can do. And I do need to kind of pair him with something because his special is one of the most unique ones in the game. So what this does is you can target a creature on the field, loses 3,000 VP. Then you can target a creature on the field, loses 1,000. So you can stack it on 1 unit, minus 4K, and kill him most of the time. Or you can split it and minus 3K to like a raid, and then minus 1K to like a 2K unit. Then you raid this, and then you minus it 1,000. You pop 2 cards for 1 special, basically, which is great. Like the amount of comboing that I can do. Like I had a match yesterday when I was playtesting the deck against my cousin, you know. Sweet science, I have to bring this up. Like he wound up winning our set because we do play like to playtest in sets where we go back and forth to see who like what plays better going for a second. But in the first game, like I think I like really snuck up on him because he wasn't like, I guess he kind of underestimated the deck, or maybe like I don't know what his train of thought was, but honestly the deck played fast. So it's like once he understood the deck, we played for a little bit, and the second game went like down to the wire. Like he had this field of like 3 4Ks and a 3K, and with 1 special and 2 Byakuya raids, I took down the entire field. And I think I had a 2-cost Byakuya as well, and I like the entire field died. It was crazy. You know, it took a couple of Bankais as well, but the deck has so much like combo lines. It's one of the most fun decks that I've played so far. And then the final 4 cards are Bankai. I am not sure if I want to play this at 4. Right now it's at 4 because I build my decks as like a 4/4 split at standard, and then as I play the decks I adjust it. The only non-trigger cards I do play in the deck are the finals and the Byakuya, so I don't really mind. Yes, like the final trigger is a trigger, but it only works under extreme circumstances. But yeah, that's the deck so far. I am enjoying the hell out of it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be uploading again very soon because I've been working on quite a few decks, and that's why I've been away for a couple of weeks because I'm just organizing and fixing, and you know, but trust me, it'll get there. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully the next time I update this deck, I will have all the Rukia so you can see how beautiful this deck looks. Thank you for watching.